Hello friends, how are you? I'm Nopur. Thank you all for taking the time to come to my YouTube channel, Nature at the Very Core of Science. Today's topic is, when will the fate of the Uyghurs change? You must be thinking, who are the Uyghurs and what happened to them? The Uyghurs are an ethnic group of Turkic origin living in Central Asia. The Uyghurs are the second largest major Sunni Muslim ethnic group in China, and Islam is an important aspect of Uyghur identity. So keep listening. If you like it, please leave your comment, suggestion. I would love to get those. I would get inspired to make more of these kinds of videos. So without further ado, let's start today's audio recording. So you will see this photo. This shows the entrance to a school in Turpan, a Uyghur majority city in Xinjiang. The picture was taken in 2018. The school gate itself reads in Chinese, "You are entering school grounds. Please say national language." Do you know what the language is? Sure, nothing other than Mandarin Chinese. On the morning of last October 10, 2023, the election of the United Nations Human Rights Council took place through a secret ballot. People's Republic of China, abbreviated as the PRC, aka China, remains among the 15 members elected out of 193 participating countries. Despite deep concerns around the world about China's human rights record. Those atrocities are not made up, but well documented, groundbreaking evidence of violations of human rights. Let's talk about Tibet. We all know the forced incarceration of more than 1 million Tibetan children, so-called work transfer programs for Tibetans, the destruction of Tibetan culture and language, and the persecution of Tibetan environmentalists. No matter how much is said about China's atrocities, it will fall short. Report of human rights violations against the Turkic Muslim Uyghurs in China's northwestern region of Xinjiang also began to surface in 2019. In the middle of that year, the German anthropologist Adrian Zenz made public the sensational data of his research. More than 1 million Uyghurs were subjected to forced labor in the internment camps of Xinjiang. This is a Google satellite image which shows how rapidly the prison camp is expanding near Dabancheng of Xinjiang. As soon as the news broke, protests erupted, as a result of which some countries, notably the United States, Britain, and Canada, announced diplomatic boycott of the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Everywhere, discontent was simmering, even within the Council. In 2019 and 2020, the CCP, aka Chinese Communist Party, became extremely angry with Hong Kong's pro-democracy peaceful movement. A sweeping national security law was imposed on Hong Kong and enforced by Beijing, arresting dozens of pro-democracy activists, lawmakers, and journalists. Creates barriers to voting rights, restricts freedom of press and speech. Amidst these extreme unsettling conditions, when the council elections were called, China's anti-humanitarian form was still fresh and festering like a raw sore before the world and reflected in the 2020 elections. China's poll number fell to 139, down from 180 in 2016. Worryingly, despite opposition at home and abroad, this time in 2023, China was able to secure 154 votes, and due to its majority, China's membership was again granted for a 3-year term. Alas. See, the fact that China got 15 more votes this time than in 2020 may seem to indicate that the support of the other members has increased for them. But in reality, that's not the case. Louis Charbonneau, UN director of the citizens group Human Rights Watch, said China came last in the Asia group. China's number is still behind Indonesia's 186, Kuwait's 183, and Japan's 175. If there had been more competition, China would have lost, and that's how it should have been, no? So what is China's reaction? China has vehemently denied all allegations of human rights violations, be it in Tibet or Hong Kong or anywhere else. So it was not different in the case of Xinjiang. As soon as the question arose about the existence of the camp there, at first China played totally ignorant. But later, under the pressure of the world, Beijing cleared that those camps are nothing but vocational education and training center created for the convenience of the Uyghurs only. They also gave the camp a rather cheeky name, Re-Education Camp. Well, tell me now, if it is so, then how come children aged 3 to 6 years are included in this program? And that too forcefully? What a wonderful idea to fool the entire world. Meanwhile, as the results of the vote came in, China's ambassador to the United Nations, Zhang Jun, eloquently thanked all those who supported China in the election. He also retweeted a recent tweet about a state-directed foreign journalist group's visit to Xinjiang, which featured a photo of Uyghurs dancing in bright traditional costumes. What a great attempt by the People's Republic of China to keep people in the dark. However, in 2022, the BBC obtained a trove of police files which revealed armed Chinese officers are routinely used in these camps and are permitted to use a shoot-to-kill policy against Uyghurs who try to escape. A great effort of the Chinese government to conceal and distract the people. Isn't so? But not everyone is brainless. President Joe Biden's administration immediately accused China of trying to reshape the sordid incident in Xinjiang through Zhang Jun's disinformation campaign. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum has collected a wealth of evidence of growing Chinese government repression against Uyghur Muslims. The UK director of the World Uyghur Congress, Rahima Mahmood, asserted that China, which has been involved in genocide and serious crimes against humanity in Xinjiang for the past 6 years, should have no place on the UN Human Rights Council. Remember Sir Geoffrey Nish? Yes, you were right. It is him who participated in the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia and was the lead prosecutor in the trial of Slobodan Milosevic. Nish is now chairman of the China Tribunal and the Uyghur Tribunal, which have independently investigated human rights abuses in China. In 2021, the tribunal determined that the Chinese government was guilty of genocide through its systematic forced birth control and mass sterilization campaigns in Western China. The world is worried is the horror of the Nazi concentration camps during the Holocaust, but once again in the 21st century? Yes, if you know the news inside the camp, you should be scared.